Hello kids, this is the continuation video of Std-viii Physics, second chapter, Physical Quantities and Measurement. Now, long answers and numericals are left that we'll discuss now. The first question is, we have to find out the density of irregular solid using a measuring can. So, to measure the density of an irregular solid using a measuring can by following activities. We will measure the mass of the object by using beam balance or spring balance first. Then to find volume, we will take a measuring cylinder and pour some water in it, then note the reading. Tie the string around the irregular shaped object and lower it down, then into the cylinder. Note the new reading after the rise in the liquid level. Thus, the difference in the initial reading and final reading will give the volume of an irregular shaped object. Density will be found out by the ratio of mass to its volume. This experiment I had shown during my first video, if you remember, or you can see it again. The next question is that how the density differs in liquids, solids and gases. So, in liquids the molecules are less tightly packed due to weaker intermolecular force and large intermolecular space than solids. Hence, liquids have less density as compared to the molecules are less lightly packed in a small volume than solids. In gases, the intermolecular force are negligible and intermolecular spaces are much larger than that in liquids. Due to this, the molecules of gases are very loosely packed in a small volume as compared to liquids. If the molecules are occupied less space, then its density will be more. So, gases have less density than liquids as it occupy very small space. Now, the relative density of the substance, how it helps us to know whether the substance will float or sink. I had discussed already this one. Now, in questions again the same answer you have to write, that substance having relative density less than 1 will float on the surface of water, that is wood, kerosene or coke, and substance having relative density more than 1 sink in water, that is gold, iron and copper. In detail I had discussed during my last video. Now, what is known as the convectional current? When fluids being heated, fluids means liquids and gases both, the density of the heated portion of the fluids decreases and rises upwards. The cooler portion of the fluid, being comparatively denser and heavier, moves downward and occupies the space created by the upward movement of the hot fluid. This constant upward and downward circulation of fluid forms current in the medium called convection currents. Now, we have to determine using relative density bottle. Mathematically, we had done how to find out the density and relative density using a relative density bottle. So, here again we will perform the activity that we will take a relative density bottle, wash it with distilled water, then dry it well, then insert the stopper and note its mass as M1. Fill the bottle with distilled water and note the mass along with the distilled water, that is as M2. Now, empty the bottle and dry it well. Then pour the unknown liquid whose relative density we want to find in the bottle and insert the stopper. While putting the stopper, due to overflow of the liquid, while inserting the stopper, the liquid that comes out, that will pat and make it dry. Then we note down the mass of the liquid including the bottle as M3. So, to find out the relative density, that is the mass of the liquid by mass of water. So, mass of the unknown liquid can be obtained by M3 minus M1 by M2 minus M1. And we know that to find out the density, the relative density multiplied by 1 gram per centimeter cube. So, thus we can easily find out the density of a substance that or unknown liquid using relative density bottle. Now moving on to our next section, that is the numericals of question number H, that mass if 10 gram and volume 5 milliliters and density is equals to mass per unit volume. So 10 by 5, that we will get 2 gram per milliliter. Now if the length, breadth and height of a cuboidal safe object is given 4, 6 and 8, then first we have to find out volume by length, breadth and height, then mass is given to find out the density, mass by volume again 20 by 192, that will get 0.104 gram per centimeter cube. Since the density of wood is less than the density of water, the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, thus it will float on water. Now relative density is given 0.64. We have to convert in SI system and CGS system. In SI system it will be relative density into 1000 kg per meter cube. So that will be 640 kg per meter cube. And in CGS system that will be multiplied with 1. So that will be 0.64 gram per centimeter cube. Now volume of the bottle is given 100 cc and mass of the bottle is 45 gram and density of the liquid is given in kg per meter cube. So that will convert in gram per centimeter cube by dividing it with 1000. Then mass of the density liquid will be found out, can be found out by density into volume, 0.6 into 100, that is equals to 60 grams. So total mass of the bottle with liquid, the mass of the bottle is 45 and the mass of the liquid is 60, so that will be 45 plus 60. You can find out that will be 105 gram. Now mass of the bottle is given 60, mass of the bottle plus water is 120, mass of the bottle plus liquid, unknown liquid, is 90. To find out the volume, we can find out by how much is the volume, the water that it can contain, the capacity of the bottle. So the mass of the water it can contain is of 120 minus 60, that is along with the bottle and water is 120 and mass of the empty bottle is 60. So only to find out the mass of the water inside the bottle, 120 minus 60 is 60 and mass of the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So the volume will be 60 centimeter cube. Now relative density, we had just now discussed the formula for it. So accordingly we will do, relative density has no unit, so 0.5 only, and density multiplied by 1 gram per centimeter cube, so remains the same, 0.5 gram per centimeter cube. Rest of the inside questions are assignments for you that you will try out by your own.